For 10,000 years, the Eternal Collective ruled the galaxy with absolute power. They were beings of energy and metal, ancient creatures who had merged their consciousness with technology, so advanced that younger species could not understand it. They called themselves the Ascended Ones. Every other species in the galaxy simply called them gods. The Ascended Ones had conquered death itself. Their consciousness lived in crystalline cores that could survive anything. Nuclear fire, the vacuum of space, the crushing pressure of gas giants. Nothing could destroy them. When their physical bodies failed, they simply transferred to new ones. They had done this for. They had watched stars die and be reborn. They believed themselves eternal. Because of this immortality, the Ascended Ones viewed all other life as temporary things. Insects, creatures that lived for mere moments compared to their endless existence. They demanded worship from every species they encountered. Those who refused were destroyed. Those who obeyed lived as servants, building monuments and offering tributes to beings who saw themselves as divine. The galaxy accepted this reality. What choice did anyone have? The Ascended Ones possessed weapons that could crack planets. Their ships moved faster than light itself. Their technology was so advanced it seemed like magic. Every rebellion had been crushed. Every resistance had been burned away. Hope had died long ago for most species. Then humanity arrived. The first contact happened on a small moon at the edge of ascended space. A human exploration vessel had wandered into territory marked by the gods as sacred. The ascended patrol ship appeared within seconds. Its commander, an ancient being named, demanded immediate surrender. He expected fear. He expected worship. He expected humans to fall to their knees like every other species before them. Instead, the human captain asked a simple question. She asked who gave the Ascended the right to claim ownership of empty space. Had never been asked such a question. For a moment, he did not know how to respond. Then he destroyed the human vessel with a single burst of energy. Reported the encounter to the High Council of the Ascended. He described the strange new species. Soft bodies, short lives, no special abilities, nothing remarkable at all. The council noted the information and moved on. They had destroyed countless species before. Humanity would be forgotten like all the others. This was their first mistake. Humanity did not forget. The destroyed vessel had sent a final transmission before its death. Every detail of the encounter was recorded. The ship design, the weapon's signature, the energy patterns. Human scientists studied this data with obsessive focus. They learned more from those few seconds of combat than the Ascended had expected. 3 years passed. The Ascended Ones continued their eternal rule. They collected tributes. They accepted worship. They lived their immortal lives without concern. They did not notice the small human ships that began appearing at the edges of their territory. Scout vessels, observation posts, listening stations. Humanity was watching, learning, preparing. The Human Military Council met in secret to discuss their findings. They had discovered something remarkable. The Ascended were not truly immortal. They only believed they were. Their crystalline consciousness cores could be destroyed. It simply required energy levels that no other species had ever achieved. The Ascended had never faced a threat powerful enough to test their supposed immortality. Humanity decided to become that threat. Construction began on a vessel unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. It was called the Prometheus. The name came from an old Earth legend about a being who stole fire from the gods and gave it to humanity. The ship's designers thought the name was fitting. The Prometheus was not elegant. It was not beautiful. It was a brutal machine built for a single purpose. Every system was designed around one massive weapon, a concentrated energy cannon that could focus the power of a small star into a single point. Human engineers called it the Building the Prometheus took 7 years. During this time, the Ascended continued to ignore humanity. They were busy with other matters. A species on the far side of the galaxy had refused tribute. The Ascended were making an example of them. This distraction was fortunate for humanity. When the Prometheus was completed, it carried a crew of 3,000 humans. Every single one of them had volunteered for the mission. They knew the risks. They knew they might not return. None of them cared. They had all lost someone to the Ascended. They had all watched helplessly as the so-called gods demanded worship from their people. Now they had a chance to fight back. Admiral Wei commanded the Prometheus. She was 73 years old. Her grandmother had been killed by the Ascended during first contact. Her mother had spent her life working on the technology that made the possible. Wei had waited her entire life for this moment. The Prometheus entered Ascended space without permission. It flew directly toward the sacred of the Eternal Collective. This was the most heavily defended location in the galaxy. Hundreds of Ascended warships protected it. The crystalline cores of the oldest and most powerful gods rested there. The Ascended detected the human vessel immediately. They were amused at first, a single ship challenging their entire fleet. It seemed like suicide. Now a high commander was given the honor of destroying it. He remembered the first human ship he had killed. He expected this to be equally simple. Approached the Prometheus with 12 warships. He broadcast a message demanding surrender. He told the humans they would be made an example. Their planet would be burned. Their species would be forgotten. He expected them to beg for mercy. Admiral Wei responded with a single sentence. She told him that the Ascended were not gods. She told him they were merely old. Then she ordered them to fire. The weapon activated with a sound that shook the fabric of space itself. A beam of pure white energy lanced out from the Prometheus. It struck flagship directly in its core chamber. The crystalline consciousness core that had survived for 8,000 years shattered into dust. Died, not transferred, not reborn, died permanently, completely. For the first time an Ascended one had truly ended. The other Ascended ships froze in shock. They could not comprehend what had happened. Their sensors showed them the truth, but their minds refused to accept it. One of them was gone forever. The immortality they believed in was a lie. The Prometheus did not wait for them to recover. It fired again and again. Each shot from the found a target. Each target was destroyed utterly. The Ascended tried to fight back. Their weapons struck the Prometheus and damaged its hull. But the human ship was built to absorb punishment. It kept firing even as sections of it burned. Word spread across the galaxy within hours. An Ascended had been killed, not captured, not imprisoned, killed. The crystalline core had been shattered. The consciousness inside was gone forever. The beings who called themselves immortal gods could die after all. The news changed everything. Species that had bowed to the Ascended for thousands of years suddenly found their courage. Rebellions erupted on 100 worlds. Tribute ships were seized. Monuments were torn down. The carefully maintained order of the Ascended Collective began to crack. The High Council of the Ascended was thrown into chaos. They had never faced genuine fear before. Now they understood terror. The Prometheus was still coming toward there. Nothing they sent against it could stop it. They destroyed everything that approached. Some of the Ascended wanted to negotiate. They offered humanity anything they wanted: power, territory, technology. They would give up their claims to human space. They would leave humanity alone forever. They just wanted the killing to stop. Admiral Wei refused every offer. She told them that humanity did not want territory. Humanity did not want tribute. Humanity wanted something much simpler. Humanity wanted the galaxy to be free. The final battle took place in orbit around the Ascended. Every remaining warship of the Eternal Collective gathered to defend the crystalline cores of the eldest gods. Thousands of vessels against one human ship. The odds were overwhelming. The Prometheus fought for 16 hours straight. Its hull was torn apart piece by piece. Entire sections were exposed to space. Over 1,000 crew members died, but they kept firing. Every shot killed another ascended. Every death proved that the gods were not immortal. In the end, only the Prometheus and the remained. The human ship was barely functional. Its engines were failing. Its weapons were overheating. Admiral Wei knew they had one shot left. She aimed at the planet itself. The crystalline cores of the oldest ascended were buried deep beneath its surface. They were the founders of the collective, the ones who had first claimed divinity. They had existed for over 20,000 years. The final shot burned through the planet's crust. It reached the core chambers. It shattered everything it touched. In a single moment, the oldest beings in the galaxy ceased to exist. Their eternal reign ended not with gradual decline but with sudden and absolute destruction. The Prometheus drifted silently in space. Its mission was complete. Relief ships from liberated worlds arrived within days to rescue the surviving crew. Admiral Wei was among the survivors. She had kept her promise to her grandmother. In the years that followed, the galaxy transformed completely. The Ascended Collective collapsed without its leadership. The surviving gods scattered and hid. Some tried to rebuild their power, but they never succeeded. The other species of the galaxy no longer feared them. How could anyone worship beings that could die like anything else? Humanity became known as the. Some species feared them. Others respected them. Many simply felt grateful. For the first time in 10,000 years, the galaxy was free from divine tyranny. The Prometheus was repaired and placed in a museum orbiting Earth. Visitors came from across the galaxy to see it. They touched its hull. They read the names of the crew members who had died. They remembered the day that mortals had proven stronger than gods. Admiral Wei lived another 30 years. She never sought power or worship. She returned to Earth and lived quietly. When asked about her greatest achievement, she always gave the same answer. She said that killing gods was easy. The hard part was convincing people they did not need gods at all. This was humanity's gift to the galaxy. Not just freedom from the ascended, freedom from the belief that any being deserved worship simply because it was powerful, freedom to stand as equals, freedom to live without bowing to those who claimed divinity. The crystalline cores of the ascended had been shattered. Their immortality had been proven false, but more than that, the idea of their divinity had been destroyed forever. That was the true victory. That was what a single human warship had accomplished. And the galaxy would never forget.